Hello everybody out there in YouTube land. Good times for all here. Zachary Zabala if you prefer. In this video we are going to be observing how a positive, something holding a positive charge and something holding a negative charge can keep charging each other almost. The electrophorus here is a very neat device, and just a quick recap: you charge up a surface by rubbing it, creating friction. Okay, don't have to do it too much. We are setting the electrophorus on there. You touch it with your finger. Since that is a negative charge object, it will create a positive charge on the bottom of the electrophorus because it is attracting itself. The positive is attracting to the negative, and it will repel the negative charge of this object. We then take the negative charge off by tapping it with our finger, and then we can place a positive charge onto an object, and vice versa with the negative charge here. Or with something holding a positive charge, you can then place a negative charge onto it. So what we're going to do in this one, we're going to witness this happening through induction this time, where it isn't touching it, which is conduction. We're going to just hover it over it and witness the same thing happening. But instead of charging up an object, we're just going to move it back and forth we're pretty much just going to bounce the charge back and forth. Now the really neat part is I'll be taking a little bit of the charge off, and I'll be checking it with the electric meter here. And it's going to show that we're actually removing charge every time. And I'm not sure how long it'll go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be recording this with my watch running. And you don't need to sit here for a half hour, 20 minutes, however long this is going to last, and watch me doing this. So I have it set at noon, 12 o'clock. And I'm just going to set that there, turn this on, and we'll do a couple, excuse me, we'll do a couple test runs. I'm going to charge them up here by rubbing it a little bit. This is polyethylene. This is polyacrylonitrile. Something like that. It's oh, I'm having a brain fart. This is the bottom of a plastic pail, high density polyethylene, and this is acrylic. That was the word I was looking for. Okay, so we're at 1 minute already, so I'm going to start. We charge them up. I'm going to tap this, and since this is positively charged, we should be pulling a positive charge off. We won't see a negative sign here, but these numbers will jump up. Okay, we got about 1900 right there. We'll then pick it up, place it over here on the negatively charged, which means we should pull up a charge and we'll have the negative sign in front of it. Boop, negative 300 and somewhat. Pick it up, bounce it over. About 1500. The actual charge will only be there for a second. It's not a current. It's a static charge. Negative 1200. And it's really neat because it'll bounce around. It doesn't go down. It doesn't go up. The only thing I can think of is I'm creating a charge by picking it up and dropping it down. Okay, so now we saw that. Now we're going to go with induction. That was conduction. Now we're just going to hold it above it for a minute. Let it polarize itself. And then we're going to touch it. Boom. Like a 1300 there. We'll come back over here. Let it sit above it for a minute. So what's happening is the same thing's happening. It's just happening without touching. It's induction. And here we go. Should get a negative. Boom. Negative 1000 something. We'll come back over here. Hold it above it. Boop. 700. Come back over here. Hold it above it. Now the closer I get, the stronger it'll be. I've been watching some more physics lectures. But as you can see, this will still keep going. It's bouncing up and down. It was, I forget what it was earlier, but there was just 1400. That was much lower right there. And much larger. Let's see if we can get higher than a 32. Yeah, that was back up to over 1000. So that really makes my arm tired. I'm not going to keep doing that. But I'm going to start fast forwarding from here on out. But I'm going to keep doing it for, it's at 4 minutes now. I'm going to do it for at least 20 minutes here. And I'm going to super fast forward this. And see how long it'll last and how much at all, if the charge dissipates or if it keeps going. Because remember, I'm taking a charge off of this each time. With this electrode right here. And it's running the charge into the meter, which is then reading it. Now, you saw there, without me touching it and creating, you know, static electricity by conduction, by rubbing it, that the charge was still being transferred. I was still taking some off, and it was still bouncing up and down. So, I don't know, this is kind of interesting to me. I wonder how long it'll go, and how much, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe the bigger the plate, the closer you get. I don't know. We're going to have to do some experimenting with this. So it's already getting really long for a video. I know people hate watching them when they're this long. But, so I'm going to speed it up now. And, once it hits 20 minutes or so, maybe a half hour, I'll come back on and, we'll wrap this up. So, well, I'll still be talking, it just won't be live. Here we go. Alright, everybody. I'm not going to sit here and talk the whole time. I figured I'll just play a little bit of music while I'm doing this, and it shouldn't take too long. I think it's a couple minutes. So I'll see you here. Alright folks, as you can see, it's been over 20 minutes now since I started, and we are still getting a charge. I know it can be from my hand, the friction I'm creating by moving these back and forth, but as you can see, still getting a positive charge off of that one and a good negative charge off of the other one. It is not constantly getting stronger or weaker. It fluctuates. I'm going to get a setup. Now this is through conduction that we're witnessing. I'm going to get a setup where I have something hanging here, holding onto this, and I'll swing it back and forth so it'll just come real close to the tables without touching them. And we'll see how long it can go through induction, so then we know that I won't be creating any friction by touching it and pulling it away. But yeah, as you can see, I'll still keep going, and we get a good positive charge. And we're getting a strong negative charge still. So that's it. I just wanted to share that with you. Thought it was interesting how, even though I'm pulling a charge away, they keep recharging. We saw at the beginning of the video when we were messing around with induction, holding it above it, how it was still somehow getting a charge. It would get smaller and then larger and smaller and larger. So I'm not really sure what's going on here yet. Still a lot to ponder, but I just wanted to share that with you. So this is Good Times for All signing out, and as always, thanks for watching.